No, no, no. Okay, I got the green box. But as we found out on Monday, that means nothing. I got a notification that. Oh, I know what that ding is, actually. It's my found out. It's my girlfriend's iPad in the other room. Okay, alrighty. Fantastic, and we are live. So welcome everyone to this week's episode of the 4GwQPodcast podcast. This is episode number 136 for May 25th, 2017. Hope everyone's having an awesome night or morning or afternoon or wherever you're listening, whatever time of day it is. Hope you're having a good one. Because I know we got Australian audience, we got the UK audience, we got audience everywhere. So I want to thank everyone individually, of course.
And we got audience in the Nordic countries too.
Nordic countries all over. So welcome everyone. This week we do not have Taylor, but we have me, Inferno217. Obviously, I'm speaking. We have making his 136th straight appearance on this program, ZPCI Assassin. What's going on, bud?
Hi.
And we have Italian Clowns. Can't tell if that beard is gone or if it's still there because he's got no webcam this week, but nonetheless still will be present. What's going on, Clowns?
It's alive and growing with Chick-fil-A sauces.
Ooh, yes. Enjoying some Chick-fil-A while podcasting. That is a dynamic duo. All right, so yeah, this week we got a ton of topics. I'm not gonna go into them in depth in this list here. We got Destiny 2 stuff, we got FarCry 5, we got LawBreakers, Beam becoming Mixer, we've got Xbox Game Pass, of course. PSN monthly active users are at like 70 million plus now as of 2016, the end of 2016. So that's pretty impressive. Of course, Red Dead Redemption 2 is delayed to surprise no one, I guess. And of course, we have our weird news of the week segment at the end of the show, which is very related to gaming this week and very, very weird. So I hope you guys like that segment. Before we get started, a couple things. We got some awesome affiliates down in our description below in the YouTube video. So we're going to add one more affiliate down there sometime in the next couple days. So check back for those if you haven't. Maybe bookmark them. I don't know what you want to do. Make sure you shop through those, though, guys, because it doesn't charge you any more money. But if you shop through those links, don't buy what comes up. Just buy something, and we get a little bit of a kickback, a little bit of a referral bonus if you use those links. So we want to thank our affiliates, of course, for allowing us to have those. And thank you guys for shopping through those. We really appreciate it. And I know Prophet is in the chat. He's Australian, and I understand that they're useless to him in the foreign country, but nonetheless, I guess share it. I don't know. Obviously, you can't use it, but I'm sorry. They are just U.S. links. Also, we did an incredible interview. It actually turned out really, really good. To be quite honest, it turned out way better than I thought it would turn out because, it was overseas and it was totally different time zones, and we had, we wanted to coordinate this, and it wasn't happening right away, but we got it done. And we thank the people over at Good Catch Games for taking out some time to talk about their game Black and White Bushido, which has been out soft launched on Steam for about a year, and it's now officially full release on Xbox One, Steam, and PS4. It's available for $13. I highly suggest you grab it, but not until a week from now, because we're going to have a Gleam giveaway for a few codes, and you guys know how those work. And if you don't, the instructions are pretty clear. So we're going to have a giveaway for a couple copies of this game. Xbox One, I believe, are the only copies we have. I'm going to have to check again. But yeah, go over and check out that interview on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/4GwQPodcast. It's not even 30 minutes long. It's a quick one, but very informative. Ben, the head of creative, who took some time out to talk to us, was amazing. So definitely check that interview out. And look out for on Twitter, 4GwQPodcast, if you're not following us. Look out for that giveaway that we're going to have pretty soon. We're also going to be giving away, what are we going to be giving away, Clowns, on Twitter?
A season pass for The Walking Dead Season 3 Telltale.
Right. So look out for that as well. If you're a PC gamer, I know Prophet is big time PC gamer. If you're looking for that game, Prophet, we're going to be having a giveaway on Twitter, so you're definitely going to want to enter that and make sure you follow us to get in on that one. All right. Just really quick, because I know this news is kind of old at this point. We didn't get to it last week because it kind of happened the day of, and it was a big one, so we didn't really get into it too much. I was on the Iron Lords podcast on Sunday, and my internet kind of dropped out, so I wasn't able to do it the entire show. But I'm telling you, if you guys want to hear about Destiny stuff, you're huge Destiny fans, you want to follow that Iron Lords podcast. It's got Cognito, Sovereign, Lord Addict, Lord King. You know, those guys made me an honorary lord for the day, and I appreciate that. So was on that Sunday. Definitely go follow that podcast. But we will dabble into some limited Destiny talk right now. So Assassin, I know you are probably the biggest Destiny fan on planet Earth besides those guys on Iron Lords podcast. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what you thought of this Destiny reveal?
I mean, just watching it's got me a little hyped for the game. Obviously, it looks almost identical to Destiny 1 with a few minor, differences with powers and stuff, which doesn't seem like... I feel like, they should have changed it up a little bit, not, make almost the exact copy of the first game, but I mean, Call of Duty does it, so...
Right.
The stuff that they shown, I thought looked a lot better than the first game. It looks like that's what it should have been to begin with. The 30 FPS, not a huge fan of that, especially for a first-person game. And then the lack of dedicated servers, which is the biggest thing, because especially in the PvP, it is super laggy. So Activision needs to pull out the stops and fund dedicated servers for all their games, because obviously they're the only company that doesn't do that.
Yeah, they really... You made a good point referencing, Call of Duty and stuff too, because Activision is just lagging behind everyone else when it comes to that jump to the next gen. 30 FPS, you can argue all day about whether 30 FPS really matters in this game. I know some people say, there are people with 7,000 hours on Destiny 1 that played at 30 FPS and no one's bitching over there. So the diehards will keep playing it. They're maybe a little bit disappointed. I'm with you, Assassin. I'm a little disappointed it's 30 FPS. But I think the biggest issue by far with the announcement was the dedicated servers. That's a huge deal. Huge deal.
I mean, it is a very big deal, and let's hope that Sony comes out with lots of money and says, hey, Bungie, we want to give you dedicated servers only for us PSN players, because we rock over here.
Listen, I don't... Man, I'm already on the fence on whether or not this Destiny 2 30 FPS parity thing is because of Sony, because we saw Mike Ibarra tweet out kind of cryptically, I should say, that Xbox is not the ones. They're not the ones holding them back. They're not the ones saying it has to be parity between OG Xbox, Xbox One S, and OG Xbox One, I should say, Xbox One S, and Scorpio. So they're not the ones, holding it back. So who is it got to be? It's got to be Sony, in my mind. I mean, I'm juggling back and forth on whether or not they would actually do shit like this, and whether or not their money goes that way, goes well enough to hold back a game,
I will say, yeah, I would definitely say it does. I mean, Sony's got to pull out all the stops because, they just like Microsoft right now, they don't really have a lot of first-party stuff to brag about. So what does Sony do is they go buy up and market every third-party deal that they can find on the side of the corner.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a possibility. Man, I wish they just came out and said it, because I know everybody's thinking it. They don't know the reason. Bungie is being dragged through the mud here. Bungie and Activision look bad. I'm still convinced it has little to do with Bungie, man. I can't imagine that Bungie was the one who said, oh, it's got to be 30.
Well, I mean, look at, I think Digital Foundry said that if they ran dedicated servers, they could have done 60. Respawn said if they used the cloud, they could have done 60. Like, I don't understand why they didn't do stuff like that. I mean, Titanfall worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
I remember right on the 4GwQPodcast podcast, there was somebody named Clowns who said a while ago, maybe about 5 months ago, and he said that I bet Sony is going to go ahead and counter the Scorpio by making the games only run what they could on PS4 if they have exclusive deals.
Could you imagine, though, like, Battlefront, we've already gotten kind of like suggestions that it's going to be quote unquote the best version of play, right? We've already heard that Battlefront would. We've heard that Red Dead is May, you know. So can you imagine like Sony has just locked up all these exclusivity, not exclusivity, but marketing rights, you know? They got Destiny, they have Battlefront, obviously. They are probably having Far Cry 5. They have Call of Duty. You know, they've got all this stuff in their back pocket. If those big games are held back by these marketing deals and they have a way to hold those back, man, dude, they've got the market cornered. I don't know what Microsoft's going to do because, like we've said in the past in the podcast, you make a good point, Clowns. Like we've said, I mean, if it's true that they've got these marketing deals and it's going to hold it back, then what good is the Scorpio? Why spend the money to get it if it's being held back by Sony's money?
Well, I can counter that right there. I mean, Forza is going to look beautiful in Scorpio compared to like PS4 Pro's Drive Club.
Oh yeah, no, and GT Sport even the initial leaked images from GT Sport have not been good, or have not been up to par, not even close to what we've seen for the for those Forza images at the Scorpio info thing on Digital Foundry. So
now, if I was Sony and I was doing this, I would go even further, and I would do, Sega does what Nintendo don't. Remember when Mortal Kombat came out for the Super NES, there was no blood, but on Genesis there was blood? Mm-hmm. Imagine if Sony could pull some crap like that, and then we get like a Mortal Kombat or LawBreakers with no blood on Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Evil Earn.
Sorry, but
go ahead, bud. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but if Sony does some stupid shit like that, they're a piece of shit company.
They're just doing business, dude. I mean,
I know
it's
sketchy, it's so stupid. They're holding back like everything. Then,
well, PC is going to be unlocked, and now there's going to be more fodder. Like that's the thing. That's the thing I don't understand because, and this is why I see Enrique Basement Radio Carry Podcast in the YouTube chat saying it has nothing to do with Sony. Number one, I'm not sure how you can be 100% certain of that, and number two, I almost agree with you on a little bit because if they do that, then they're just keeping that separation between PC and PS4. You know what I mean? It's almost like exacerbating the fact that PC is master race. Because if Pro could get 60 and PC does something similar, obviously it's unlocked, but say like a nice PC does it at 60, then wouldn't Sony want to compete and try to take some people from the PC market or no? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how you can be sure that has nothing to do with Sony. And okay, so now he says in the YouTube chat, we've seen games run better on other platforms that didn't have a marketing deal. But that's not what this case is, though. That's not what this case is. The case is that it's gonna run worse on the better platform. And the better platform has already been independently studied by someone like Digital Foundry and not confirmed, but highly suggested that it can run better. And what would Bungie have to benefit from this? Could you guys think of a way that Bungie could benefit from this, having it 30?
Well, I mean, if Sony comes out, be like, hey, make it 30. I'm sorry. And they get paid because money talks.
Maybe.
I mean, they're already saving money for not putting dedicated servers in.
Yeah.
I mean, let's hope for Bungie's sake that it is Sony behind this, because otherwise Bungie just sucks. And the only reason why Destiny is so successful is because people are addicted to loot like crack.
Yep. I mean, listen, when I first played Destiny, you guys know, like we played Destiny on 9/9, whatever it was, 2014, whatever the release day was. I'm pretty sure that was it. And we played, and the gunplay was amazing. I still think the gunplay in Destiny is near the top of FPSs, even though I'm not a huge Destiny fan. But they were able to feed something that didn't have good storytelling, had, bullet sponge bosses for a good amount of Destiny's existence, for a good amount of year one and part of year two. And they were able to do that because of kind of what you said, Clowns. I think the addiction factor is big there,
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do these days is make a game addictive, and it doesn't have to be like story intensive. It just has to be addictive, and you'll make a crap ton of money off it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at Candy Crush, man.
Yeah.
Look at all those.
Ugh.
Look at all those mobile phone games that people play.
Yep. So something interesting in the chat, and I know you already commented on it, Clowns, but I want to definitely mention it for people listening. P-Ro Dussa, I don't know if I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I'm really sorry. Bungie tried 60 at dynamic 4K on the Pro. It didn't happen, so instead of them dropping the res, they gimped all the versions for 4K. Now, listen, if they tried it and they have like a reasonable explanation for, you know, their creative vision that it didn't work out or whatever, they give us even partly a bullshit reason, right? That it isn't at 60. I'm all right with that. Like, give me something, because right now your silence makes it seem like there's something shady going on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because people expected the leap to Pro, the leap to Scorpio. Scorpio is like 4 times as powerful as Xbox One. You're telling me you can't make that leap to 60? That thing better have the best anti-aliasing, the best lighting, the best bloom, the best textures that I've ever seen if you're going to keep it at 30. Because
And the best glimmer so people can chase it.
there you go. And it better be rock solid stable right out of the gate. No, you know, bugs have to be nowhere to be found. If it comes out of the gate and it even resembles Mass Effect Andromeda bugginess by a little bit, crushed. They're gonna get crushed for it. And because of what you kind of said, Clowns, about the addiction factor, and because the first game was so addictive and brought in so many players, they're probably gonna get a pass on a lot of that stuff. But they shouldn't, because they're holding at 30. And at 30, you have a lot of play. You have a lot of room. Look at the Forza demo, They had it at 60 FPS, 4K, and they had 30% or so headroom on the Scorpio on the GPU power in order to even make it better. So you're telling me that Destiny 2 at 30 FPS is taking up that same amount of room? I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. And I said I said on the Iron Lords podcast on Sunday that I'm shocked that PS4 Pro can't even handle 60. I really am. I've seen some amazing things on Pro. I've seen some amazing stuff on Pro. I cannot believe it can't run this thing at 60. So, you know, and we don't know enough about it to be honest. Like, we're just average guys here. Like, we don't know the ins and outs of how this, you know, the game development and everything. But everyone's a common gamer these days. Like, not everyone's a diehard like nerd that knows all of this stuff in and out. You got to satisfy those people with some answers, man. Because I mean, I got the list up here on the podcast right now. And Assassin, I definitely want you to comment on this. The other stuff that they talked about, not necessarily showed, because they didn't really show a lot of this stuff, but the stuff they talked about, like the new clan system, you know, guided games.
Yeah.
That stuff looked really cool. The new weapon slots, the way they work, the kinetic, the energy, and the power weapon slots, the way those work, they're interchangeable weapons pretty much in all those slots in some way, shape, or form. Love it. Launching activities from not having to go back to orbit to do a little thing and then going back and doing, you know what I mean, back and forth.
Yeah, the only thing good about the orbit was you could go to the bathroom because it would take fucking forever. And make a sandwich.
Wow.
Nice.
Assassin's dropping some
It's
knowledge.
true, because you go to like space to the tower, you're sitting there for like 3 minutes, and like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Go
Well-
make a sandwich.
Well, now it should be sped up, right? I mean, if they can't do the 60 frames per second, it should be super fast.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, and that's another advantage that they said about Scorpio, is that the load time is going to be quicker because of all the customization they've done from the throughputs, the faster hard drive and the CPU GPU pathway. They talk about faster load time, so you're not going to have any time to piss or shit, Assassin. I'm sorry. It's going to be right bang bang bang. You're going to have to follow your fire team everywhere, bro. No
What about those big streamers that do, like, you know, the 12-hour streams of doing raids, man? They're screwed.
They are screwed. They're going to have a cup. They're going to have it be like the South Park episode for the Warcraft thing. They're going to have that like bin underneath. Assassin, you seen that one?
No.
Oh, you got to see that, where they do a World of Warcraft episode where they have the bins underneath. Cartman's mom like brings the bin around and they just shit into it while they're playing World of Warcraft.
Wow.
Oh, man. So, yeah. And then, you know, they're bringing back the European Dead Zone thing that they brought out of Destiny 1. They scratched from Destiny 1. That's back. So people who love the lore of Destiny are really excited for that. The maps have more to do than just the patrol missions. If you're just, walking around. They have like these treasure hunts, they have dungeons, a bunch of other stuff. So I think that's all positive stuff. And then all anyone's talking about is this 30 FPS thing. And that's why it sucks. Like, if they just put out an explanation for it in some way, shape, or form, it's a mute point, and everyone's talking about the good stuff at Destiny. But, man.
Rest in peace, Destiny. I never want to see you on Xbox again after this, and I hope everybody votes for the wallet and nobody buys it. No, absolutely not.
I'm closer to buying it, to be honest.
Nope.
I'm closer. But when is their deal with Sony up? El Boogie wants to know, because that's when we'll get a better Destiny for Xbox players. Well, supposedly it's supposed to be up at the end of 2018, right?
That's if they
don't renew.
I think that's just year 1 content. So I mean, year 2 could be 2019.
That's true. Yep, that's true. All right, enough of Destiny. We talked about that way too long. Now for the news of the day. Beam is now Mixer, everybody. So we're not streaming this podcast on Beam right now. We're trying to figure out the multi-stream, but we're going to go back to it, and we're going to be streaming to YouTube, Twitch, and now Mixer. All 3 of those when we do the podcast. We're trying to figure that out. I don't know what's going on with Joycast. We're going to have to figure it out. But Clowns thinks he has a fix, so we're going to try it again next week.
Chrome. Google Chrome works.
Dude, I'm using Chrome browser. I don't know if maybe it's not updated or if I'm on like the beta ring, the Canary. I don't know what I'm on. But...
Do you have an ad blocker on?
No. It may be you know what it may be? It may be my my antivirus has like an integration with Chrome, has like a web applet that stays on Chrome. Maybe that. Maybe I'll disable that and try it again.
Yeah, that could do it.
Yeah. So we'll be back on Mixer very soon, and so now it's Mixer, and it's not just a rebrand, guys. It's a ton of new features. You got the co-streaming. You've got mobile streaming from your phone. Twitch already kind of had that. Potentially 4K streaming. They haven't announced that for the masses, but there will be a 4K broadcast of Microsoft's press conference on Beam for E3. So look out for that. And you'll be able to get that through the Xbox Live Events app on the Xbox One as well, if you have Xbox One S, that is, for 4K output. And this thing called Channel 1, which I guess is just like this rotating thing of popular streams that you can just have on in the background and discover things. So
I gotta say so. BBC has a Channel 1. I just had to say that. That's what. Because I had to throw it out there.
Clowns is all happy about getting his British broadcasts lately. He's been watching British TV like all day, every day. That's why.
Best commercials ever. Best commercials.
Oh man. So, I think the thing that people are the most interested in. Before we get into the features, guys, tell me about what your thoughts are on the name change.
Stupid.
No, you can't just say stupid. This is a freaking podcast.
It's sorry, I was just making it quick and simple.
Oh, okay.
Stupid name. Beam was simple.
Yep.
Mixer is stupid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Assassin's 100% right. And everything he just said, I can't even counter-argue it. He's 100% correct. I mean, I'm not saying Beam was the greatest name ever, because it did remind me of, like, Beam Me Up Scotty from Star Trek. But I will say that Beam sounded more interesting, like, Beam, Dream, Team, Beam, Dream, Stream, whatever. It went together. Mixer, when I first heard Mixer, I thought of like a blender. Then I thought of Futurama. Then I thought of a mixer. And I'm thinking to myself, well, man, if I'm in a Microsoft studio and I'm sitting at a table with the guys from Beam and we're coming up with new names, I can only imagine they got a mixer sitting on the table somewhere and they're like, that's it. We'll use Mixer because we own that globally under the Microsoft name. That will be okay. And then you look up Mixer like on all these stores and you see like DJ apps, you see like social apps, meeting people, you see like crowdfunding apps to mix with like businessmen that are probably like fake from Two to Tango and other, I don't know, out there. So yes, I mean, just come on, guys, what are you thinking? And you launched it so wrong because you didn't have it high up yet in the app stores. And it's very confusing for a lot of people out there. So that was like a bogus flop right there. And then on their page today, if you went to the forums or the help desk, it the links were down because they still haven't fully converted them from Beam over to Mixer yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, like that kind of threw me off a little bit because as you know, I wrote to support earlier, and I couldn't find the support thing because it kept taking me to this thing that says, you know, not found, not up yet, blah blah blah, all this hoo-ha, and then finally I get an email response that says, "Oh, check out our knowledge base. Thank you for your feedback."
Mm-hmm.
What feedback? I asked how to do co-streaming. I asked for feedback. What's going on with these people?
Yeah. Go ahead, Clowns. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, bud.
And, you know, I get it, man. People are saying, you know, it's like going to a mixer. It's, you know, we're all hanging out at the mixer together. We're all having a dandy time. It's 1972. We're hanging out at the social clubs in New York City and Chicago. Yeah, we're having a mixer, a couple drinks, some, you know, Coke and Jack Beans and stuff, man. We're just having a chill time. No, I don't think of streaming with Mixer. I think of, like, polyester suits and gold chains and hanging out drinking alcohol at the bar.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's true. I mean, even they say we chose Mixer as our name because, and this is from Matt, one of the co-founders of Mixer. He says, we chose Mixer as our new name because it represents what we love most about the service, how it brings people together. Okay. Streaming in general, I think, brings people together. I don't think you need to, like, change the name so, like, people will think, oh, now we're going to bring people together. You know what I mean? Like, Beam, like, as a streaming service didn't, you know, suggest that. So by that kind of rationalizing, you know, Twitch suggests that everyone should just be like moving around with their computer. Like, you know what I mean? The name doesn't have to just like tell people what to do. You know what I mean? The name Beam, like what you just said, Clowns, kind of suggested there, alluded to, is what I was looking for. Beam is much more appropriate, and some people are saying this in the chat too, and you're 100% right. Beam suggested streaming, and Assassin said that too. Beam is simple. You know what I mean? Let me stream to Beam. I'll be on Beam. You know what I mean? When I hear I'll be on Mixer, like Assassin's, like Clown said, like it almost sounds like Tinder, or you know what I mean? It sounds like a dating app or like a get together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you think that this next thing coming from Microsoft, maybe they'll buy like a dating app and mix it in with Mixer, and then you date streamers, and it's like on the sidebar there somewhere, and you'd be like, oh, let me look up, let me mix it up with these streamers up here. Oh, Mixer, I want to meet this person and this zip code. Oh, 5 miles from me. Oh, let's mix it up. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. It just doesn't feel right. Maybe in 48 hours, I'll be like, okay, I accept this now. The world is over. You know, World War III is going to happen. We got Mixer. So it doesn't matter anymore. But, man, I can't feel it. And on top of that, when I think of this, now I wonder, you know, Microsoft's a big corporation outside of Xbox. It's huge. I mean, it's used globally, internationally, whatever you want to call it, they're big. So if somebody else is using the term Mixer now, like, what if the greater city of New York City is saying, hey, we're going to have a mixer, and just use the word mixer? Are they going to get hit with a cease and desist because it's confusing with legal terms? Like, how is that trademark going to work? How is it going to, infringe upon their rights? And how is Europe going to feel about it when they use the term mixer freely? What is Microsoft going to do? Like, I don't know, man. Corporations don't always mean to insult people, but they need to protect their interests, and what's going to happen from it?
Yep. Speaking of protecting interests, we have a very special guest that I haven't seen you in the chat ever, Rake, but guy I follow, awesome streamer. If you don't follow him on Mixer now or Beam, definitely go follow him. The Rake is Real is his name. He is, I believe he's a partnered streamer. I don't know if you have a sub button. I haven't noticed you have a sub button, but he's part of a stream team, streams like every day. He says inside scoop, and this kind of goes to your comment about protecting themselves, Clowns. Beam had to rebrand because someone else owned the name, so they couldn't go global with it.
I mean, and that makes sense. I could see that happening because when Beam started out, you know, like you said, Matt was one of the co-founders, probably not like a big corporate guy, you know, just wanted to do something for fun, create this thing. Microsoft comes along, buys it, and then tries to push out there internationally. And maybe, yeah, I could see problems happening. But now what's Microsoft going to do when it's their global name being used?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, listen, dude. I mean, if I were Microsoft and that was the case, I would have fought as hard as I could to get that Beam name globally instead of like settling for Mixer. Like I think Mixer doesn't connect to people globally at all, honestly.
Well, maybe they had these ideas for these awesome features already in the works, but they didn't want to push it out under Beam in case they got sued and it got stolen from them. So maybe that's why they did the name change so suddenly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe. Could be. I don't know. Like I hate the statement that came out that was just like, oh, we needed to change it because it represents what we love about the service. Like they say we, it's a tough decision, but it's something we had decided on a team. It's something we couldn't do to market. He kind of suggests that. He says we want to grow in every major market around the world, and we couldn't do that with the Beam name. So he kind of suggests that it was because somebody else may have that name globally, but man, I don't know. Clowns, do you have another name you would have maybe called it?
Somebody on Twitter responded to me earlier. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Crap or somebody, but they said, what would you rather have it called? Like dog shit service? And I'm like, well, that has a ring to it.
Oh, man.
But I'm just saying, like, think about it this way. Like, you're maybe an 11, 12-year-old kid. Your mom calls you up. Hey, what are you doing, Tommy? And you're like, oh, I'm going to play on Mixer. And, there's like a phone breakup in the call. So mom's like, no, don't play with the Mixer. You can get hurt. You don't want your hands stuck in there.
Yeah.
No.
I hear you. Assassin, you got a different name to suggest?
No, I'm not too creative with those type of things.
Yeah, you know what? Me neither. I loved Beam. I thought the name Beam was great. Sad they couldn't go global with that, but
I mean, they could have bought Switchboard Live. That guy's a small startup, and they're the ones that own Joycaster. So why not just try to buy up Switchboard Live and then use that as your streaming name? Plus, then have the ability to triple stream, dual stream, and all that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like Switchboard Live better than Mixer. I don't know. I tweeted out earlier that I liked the merchandise though. The hat that they had with that Mixer logo was fucking fresh.
Dude, I could see your brother walking into like a DJ event where he's DJing.
Yep.
And he's just wearing that Mixer hat sideways. Like, oh, you're the DJ Mixer?
That's Mixer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Mixer, man. Yeah, Supersonic just said that. Supersonic Station in the YouTube chat. I keep thinking of DJ mixers when I hear Mixer. Yeah, I mean, you think of literally everything else but streaming, and that's a problem. Like that. I think that's a problem. All right, enough about the name, dude. Enough about the name. Oh, actually, not enough about the name. Let's talk about the community reaction to the name. Mr. Chris Steele earlier on Twitter. I had to grab this part of the Twitter community, Xbox community. He says, Mixer sounds like a 1950s sock hop dance or a dance party for kids at summer camp. And you know what? Like, Clowns was like laughing his ass off about that. And you know what? When I first saw it, I had a chuckle because it's just like, you're right, man. You're right. It just does not sound great. And other Zinc in the YouTube chat it makes a fair point. He says you guys complain about everything. None of you have a marketing degree. I don't think it takes a marketing degree necessarily to figure out that Mixer was not the right name for a streaming service.
It sounds more like a quick fix at a business meeting to a dilemma. Other Zinc, I mean, I don't have a marketing degree myself, but I will tell you this. I have spent many years with my sister who has a national and international business marketing degree from Italy and the United States. And believe me, I'm sure she would not like the name Mixer.
Yeah. No, I don't think so either. And you know what? A marketing degree will get people, and what we don't have, that's true. Marketing degree will make people love this. And if they make people love this, then we're all wrong about the Mixer name. You know what I mean? If they can brand it and market it properly and get people to think synonymously Mixer with these new features we're about to talk about, then they've won. They've done it. The marketing degree has come into play and is valuable. But I don't think it takes a marketing degree. It's a fair point to suggest that, for how people will love this in the future. But for the name,
I mean, in other things' defense, I could see this going down, right? Microsoft coming down to the office and be like, oh, no, we can't use the Beam name. We just got in a crap ton of trouble. We need to change it fast. So then you take your maybe one of your business guys on your team from Beam, and you take one of your legal guys on your team, and they sit there and they talk, and the lawyer's like, no, we got to change it right now. What's left from Microsoft that we can use? Mixer. The business guy's probably like, oh shit, that, I don't like it, but let's just go with it so we don't get in trouble.
Right. And I would love to find out like how they figured out that they couldn't go globally with that. If somebody like threatened their patent or whatever it is, threatened that name or whatever, if Microsoft got some legal action pushed against them. Because I don't even know if Beam was global, to be honest with you. I mean, was Beam in every region? Was Beam like in every region that Windows is in? I don't think so. But I don't know. He says he has a marketing. Others Inc. says he has a marketing degree and the name is fine. You can't please everyone, which I 100% agree with. You cannot please everyone. Consumer behavior is a difficult course. Everyone won't be happy. I 100% agree with you. I agree with you on that. But when you were already successful in getting people to move over with the name Beam and no one was shit talking that name, if it's the global reason, fine. You had to change it. You had to figure something out. But I would almost rather keep that name and fight for it. Like, what if Xbox wasn't a name they could use globally? Would they not fight for Xbox? Would they just change it to something else back in the day? Because Xbox was a perfect name for a console. You know what I mean? That's a perfect name. It's a box, direct Xbox, it's a perfect name. So, I feel like they should have maybe fought a little bit more, but I don't know the legal ins and outs and everything. So, but Rake is the Rake is real in the YouTube chat. He is a huge Beam streamer and he hates the name and he's pretty connected on there. So I think overall people just don't like the name. All right, really quick, 2 biggest features I think. The co-streaming thing. So guys, we got to do some co-streaming, right? It
is huge. And if you ask for help on their support on how to co-stream, they will tell you to send their feedback. Send feedback, by the way, guys.
Well, hopefully their support system is a little more fleshed out in the coming days. I mean, they announced it, and then they didn't even have like their official reveal announcement at Redmond until like a few hours later. So they changed all the marketing, like changed all the logos, like changed the name on the site, everything. And people were like, oh, Mixer, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, look at all these features. They announced it on the Xbox Newswire. They announced it everywhere. And then it was a few hours later, I think, before they had the official like reveal at Redmond, the official like party for it. So something tells me that everything isn't in order quite yet. And the support will be better, I think, pretty soon.
Yeah, I think they really need to have a clear course on, how to enable these features on their site before just dropping bombs and being like, you can co-stream. Because everybody's probably like, wow, I can co-stream. They're all rushing to the site. Well, how do I do it, And some people did figure it out on their own, and kudos to them. But me and Assassin were talking about it. We're both very sleepy, and we were like, sounds complicated. How do you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now on the Xbox, I'm not sure if you can do it, but it does say that you will be able to do it.
Yeah, I think somebody in the chat earlier said that you can do it on Xbox now, but I saw the same thing that you did online, saying that you'll be able to do it in the future or something.
Yeah, so in the official presser it says also in the coming weeks, Xbox One users will be able to invite friends to join a co-stream directly from the guide. So I don't know if it's available and it doesn't have that invite feature yet, or if it's not available and it launches that same day that they talk about the invite feature. So I don't know. I haven't tried it from Xbox yet. I know you guys were trying it earlier and it didn't work out or something, right?
I didn't look. I had to start up a game.
Yeah.
I was probably sleeping.
Oh, I thought you guys tried it. No?
No.
See, the interesting thing about this, too, is that it says co-streaming is available now for everyone, by the way, in the same presser, so I don't really know. And so it says co-streaming, it doesn't even require people to be playing the same game. Like, you can just kind of hang and play different games, and I don't know how you select the audio for each one or whatever, but it almost looks like the same thing as multi-beam. It's just like on one channel now, so all the chats emerged and everything. But
I will say that an Assassin, I'm sure you'll agree with me on this. Imagine if we can do PVZ GW2 and co-stream it, all of us.
Yeah, no, that'd be dope. I'm definitely down for that. I think there are a lot of games that lend itself to co-streaming. I think Sea of Thieves in the future is going to be a huge co-streaming game. I think, games that are out now, like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, like huge. The culling, like I think those
Yes,
games,
Cullen is
right?
going to be perfect for this.
Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely perfect for this. So I think there are games that exist and games coming in the near future that will be huge for this. And I think it's a huge step up. I know people in the chat, Sobsky saying it's definitely a great new feature. It seems like the logical next step. And Rake agrees. It is the next step, man. It's the next step, and they've beaten Twitch to the punch. The next step, they've already beaten Twitch to the punch on the latency and in the interactivity, and they've beaten Twitch to the punch on the co-streaming. So
and it's a lot better than two streamers that are popular setting up RTMP streams and then having to grab those windows separately and then adding them together. You know what I mean? This was fluid. This was awesome. Great thing that they rolled it out commercially like this for like a major platform. It's definitely going to give Twitch a shake for its money.
Mm-hmm. And Supersonic Station in the YouTube chat says he thinks that Phil will show this at E3 with some Sea of Thieves action. So maybe they'll feature this kind of thing with Sea of Thieves, make it a little more enticing, for some of the streamers that maybe are not Xbox people. Maybe they'll go grab an Xbox or get it on PC. If I'm pretty sure it's a Play Anywhere title, but I'm not 100% sure. Get it on PC, start streaming this. The big guys that are already on Beam and getting established. So.
In Inferno, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry that I'm doing that. This is a hot topic for me, but I know that there's one thing that you are going to love doing with this co-streaming. Phantom Dust, baby.
Oh, me and Assassin, and how many multiplayer is that? I don't even know, but we just get a group of people together and start playing some Phantom Dust, right?
I'll co-stream it, me uninstalling the game.
How funny would that be, dude? How funny would that be if somebody's playing it and then the other person just like rage quits and uninstalls it? Yeah, so I mean that's co-streaming. Also, they have what they call crowd play, which is I guess going to be a Telltale thing right from the get-go, but I'm sure it's going to expand to other games where the crowd will vote on actions to take, and it'll be done in real time, obviously, because it's Beam with the faster than light protocol, and you'll be able to kind of like select the actions you want to take. So that's has a lot of potential, I think. Party games, huge potential. Jackbox, that kind of stuff, No, okay.
Yep. Sorry.
And also the Channel 1 thing, it's a moderated channel of content. They say it lets you see what's happening across all of Mixer. You know what I mean? It exposes you to, the new visitors to the site. It's a first stop. You kind of see all that. You can be on there, and it'll kind of like rotate some streamers that are popular, and you can learn some new people and join some communities. So that's an awesome feature. The 4K thing, like I said before, not confirmed for the masses, but they are doing a Beam 4K stream of Microsoft's E3 press conference, which is happening a couple weeks from Sunday, actually, coming up pretty soon here.
Yep.
Other than that, is there anything else you guys want to talk about when it comes to Mixer? Any last thoughts?
I wonder if they'll ever add, because I know Microsoft's doing this now with their movies and TV, but I know 4K HDR, just HDR live streaming.
That would be sick. If they can do that, if they can do some HDR 4K, like it's game over, dude. I know clowns, you think that HDR is kind of already fading away and people want the resolution, but once you see HDR, I don't know how you can go back. Like if you've played Forza Horizon 3, I played on my PC after playing on my Xbox, and the colors are so terrible. Compared.
Yeah, but here I'm thinking though, once Scorpio drops, right, and you get that real 4K, who's going to want to go back just to HDR?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if they can achieve like true native 4K, like uncompromised 4K and HDR, then it's going to be a non-issue. But if they have to compromise it at all for HDR, then yeah, I mean, you have a point. Assassin, what were you going to say, bud?
I was going to say, because right now on your Xbox, you can get, I think it's just on the Xbox One S, test Pacific Rim 4K HDR, And that movie with HDR is just mind-blowing. It's hard to even just put in my Blu-ray. I know it's totally different from 4K, but
Right.
it's mind-blowing.
So dude, are you saying that you can actually buy 4K HDR movies now in the store? Because
I think there's only one so far. It's Lego Batman,
Oh,
the
okay.
movie.
so
But
where
they're
did
gonna
you
put more out there.
where did you watch that then? Was that on Amazon Video?
No, it's go to the store page, type in Pacific Rim, and then there'll be a test version
Oh,
there
okay,
to see.
okay, I understand.
And
Okay.
it goes right through their music and TV, or movies and TV, whatever app.
Gotcha. I understand. Okay. Siberia has a point really quick on the co-streaming and on crowd play and stuff. He says it's going to be great for tournaments, and I agree. I think tournaments will live on Beam versus Twitch, just because the latency is so much quicker, and you got the interactivity options, man. It's just in the co-streaming, like, you'll have 4 boxes. It's like back in the day with DirecTV with like Sunday Ticket, NFL games. You have like 6 NFL games on the same screen. People freaking drool for that shit. So, yeah, I mean, it's a logical next step, and I'm happy Beam is taking it, or Mixer, damn it. But yeah, so that's Beam. Got to get off that topic because we got a lot to talk about still, and we're already 45 minutes in. So bear with us, people. Just real quick, I don't really want to bemoan this point because people have talked about this left and right, and honestly, I don't even think it's that big of a deal because I think the game is not even that great. But this picture right here was released on the LawBreakers Twitter. And LawBreakers, if you don't know, is a game by CliffyB, the creator of Gears of War and Unreal Tournament games back in the day. He used to be an Xbox guy, big Xbox guy. And the LawBreakers Twitter page tweeted this out and was like, we got something to announce, big thing to announce. So this picture had Xbox people beefing because it's obvious from this that it was coming to PS4, and what do you know? It's PS4 exclusive, console exclusive, but only for now. CliffyB and LawBreakers Twitter. CliffyB actually was on a Reddit AMA and said that it's just for now. Like, it can come to Xbox. They're not ruling anything out. But right now it is just PS4 exclusive. So do you guys think this news was a big deal? Or what? What do you guys think on this?
Well, I mean, I guess it's not. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, and not. I mean, so far with Sony's games, they're like, they're advertising them as exclusives all the time. Like the Marvel versus Capcom, but it was all timed. Like, no one knows because they barely say if it's timed exclusive, if it's an actual exclusive. Right. I think that's what people are a little upset of. And especially since the game was made by a guy, didn't he make Gears or something?
CliffyB.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I mean, from what I heard from a lot of PC players, they were like, the game's okay. You'd rather play Overwatch or something. Don't waste your time with just being all hard for LawBreakers. Go play some Overwatch instead. So I think that this game kind of was like fizzling out, and people were like thinking it was like mediocre, and that it was just okay, something to play in the meantime. If you had a beta key, great. If you didn't, no big deal. And now this news comes out, and it just skyrockets the demand for LawBreakers all of a sudden and creates so much controversy.
You're so right, dude. You're so right. I agree with that 100%, I think. And a lot of people will challenge me. I know Jeremy Downer, good friend of mine, but he's been challenging me a lot on Twitter. I don't know why, but but anyway, I think this is a valid point. I think that it's telling that at PAX they gave everybody a code for LawBreakers for the beta, and for a game like Gears that it's competing with, they didn't have to do anything like that. The lines were jacked for Quake, and I mean jacked. I went in on, I think it was Sunday. No, it wasn't Sunday. It was Saturday. I went on Saturday to get in that Quake line, and I was one of the first people in that place, dude. Like, I was definitely in the first, 200 people to get into PAX, and the line was already capped. I mean, the line was already at 2 hours or 3 hours. In LawBreakers, you could just walk up and play. Like Bulletstorm, I just walked up and played. LawBreakers, you could have just walked up and played. It's just the hype for LawBreakers was just not there, and I understand. Maka made a good point, and it's well taken. He made a good point on TXR the other night. that we're very trapped in our console space and we don't really see a lot of PC stuff. But honestly, like, if this was coming to console, they should have probably hyped it up a little more and done a little more advertising, because this game, like Clowns is saying, was fading away a little bit. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of buzz for this. Maybe select people were like, oh, I love Lawbreakers. You know, I love it. And we're promoting it big time. But that's just a few people. Like, remember when Overwatch came out? Everyone was talking about that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Every tweet, Overwatch. Every ad, Overwatch.
And,
right.
you know, there's a point that Inferno made when I went to PAX with him, PAX East. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about Lawbreakers, dude. They're just giving out shit tons of codes, man. Just check your grab bag. There's a shit ton out there.
That's
and he was right. Picked up grab bags, man. Lawbreakers. Couldn't get enough of them, man.
Every grab bag had one. And the point was, argued with me that, Lawbreakers is a new franchise. Not a lot of people know about it. Whereas Quake is an established thing. And so it doesn't need to give out codes, but they're both new games. Quake was on hard times. The last few Quake games were awful, in my opinion, and I think critically so they were rated poorly. So Quake wasn't like, the creme de la creme. If Duke Nukem came out with a new game right now, people wouldn't be like, gangbusters for that, loading up the line at PAX to play Duke Nukem, because look at the way Duke Nukem went out. But that's a beloved franchise. So... it works both ways, man. It works both ways. And Lawbreakers has been in development for a long time. It had a huge booth at PAX East 2016, a pretty big booth at 2017, and the hype was for PC people and not much more. And people on console, sometimes you go to a show like that, you're a console first guy, and you hear games coming off a PC, and you're kind of like, oh, never mind. But a game like Overwatch, like, that wasn't even confirmed for console right away. And people were going gangbusters for that, even on console. People, if that were PS4 exclusive, I would understand people's butthurt a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, think about it this way. For CliffyB and his team and the game, it's a smart move, because here's what's going to happen. Everybody on the Sony side, or everybody that's just PS4 fans exclusively, are going to go out and buy this game because they're so excited that it's only on their console. Then they're going to stream a crap ton of it and be like, yeah, you guys can't get this on Xbox, ha ha ha. And then like 6 months later, watch CliffyB turns around and says, hey, Xbox guys, here's Lawbreakers. And everybody on PS4 is going to be like, crap, we bought this? Oh, man. Everybody on Xbox is going to be like, nope, we don't want it. See you later, Titanfall 2.
That's right, yep. Thank you. And Titanfall 2, great example. Great example. And Titanfall 2 is a fucking good game, man. And it still is. The single player is one of the best single players, shooter single players I've played ever, honestly. And so, yeah, that's good analog, good point. Want to just really quick make a reference to something in the chat, and then I'll let Assassin go because I saw him move towards the mic. Davidas NC in the YouTube chat says... Tomb Raider. Like, as soon as we started this topic, he just types in Tomb Raider. So this has been done before. I mean, Microsoft paid the money to publish this thing for Tomb Raider, and that was a year exclusive. And, it's been done before. So Microsoft's done it, PlayStation's done it. So it's been done on both sides. And CliffyB even said, back in the day, he did an interview where he said he's not bringing it to console because there'll be too much work for Boss Key. Their company is not nearly as big as Epic was, so he's part of Boss Key now, and they couldn't do the port, So maybe they had to pick one, the company that gave them a little bit of money to publish this thing, and that's why it happened. Just like with Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider might not have happened if it weren't for Xbox, and it's on PS4 now, so this game's probably going to be on Xbox One if I were to bet. Assassin, what were you going to say, bud?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But say this game can't, like, people are mad, and we talked about it. It's the precedent that's making people mad. It's not really the game of Lawbreakers. But let me ask you guys, if this game were on Xbox, would you guys be excited for this? Does this look like something that you'd want to play or no?
I don't know. It seems interesting if there was like some beta or something. Maybe just or I could just go on YouTube to see more. I mean, it seems interesting from the little amount I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Clowns, what do you think, bud?
Do I think that from what we've seen so far that's interesting or anything? Is that what you're asking?
Exactly. Yep.
No, I honestly don't, because we got Overwatch right now, and we got what's that other one that I can never remember, but Zebra plays it a lot.
Oh, Paladins.
And, yes, and we got Paladins, which is free. So, I mean,
yeah,
I think CliffyB is chewing up the wrong tree here with that PS4 exclusivity. It's going to hurt the game more than anything else right now.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna realize that it's not gonna sell well on PlayStation. Like, it's gonna sell all right, but it's not gonna hit the numbers that these other shooters are hitting. And yeah, it's interesting. It's a little mix of Unreal Tournament, a little mix of Overwatch to a point, but not really. And it's a little mix of something like Black Ops. We were in party chat the other night, and somebody said it was like Black Ops. I think it was it Undead or Anchorman or Mike? I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody the other night said it was like Black Ops 3 with the abilities and stuff. I agree with that. It's a lot like Black Ops 3. So
I was reading one of the responses to Tim Dog's tweets, that somebody responded to him, and they look, there's an X and there's a box, so Xbox is next.
Yeah, I saw that. Wow. People are hopeful. It's the precedent, man. I mean, people don't want to see. It's just another thing that these PlayStation fanboys, and don't get me wrong, I have a PlayStation, I play it a lot, and I like it a lot. But I'm not a PlayStation fanboy, and it's just another thing that the PlayStation guys can put on their list, even if they don't like it. You know what I mean? It's another thing that can be shoved down Xbox people's throats, even if they don't even like the game. So, like, I'm not over here, like, I wasn't over here during the Xbox 360 days and being like, oh, we got Fable, bro. We got Fable. You know what I mean? Because I don't really like Fable. Fable's all right. I'm not a huge Fable person. Like, Fable 3 I thought was pretty good. But Fable 1 and 2, like, it was just all right for me, honestly. I wasn't over here just shoving shit that I don't like down PlayStation people's throats when I was at one time an Xbox 360 fanboy. So, it's just aggravating. Anyway, we must move on. FarCry 5 is going to reveal tomorrow. It's going to be 9 a.m. Eastern, and it has been confirmed that it is set in Montana, and it's going to be about a cult. So what do you guys think? I know you guys are pretty big FarCry people, so I want to get your opinions on this. You guys excited for the reveal and what you've learned so far about the game?
Well, here's what's going to happen. Right? The game's going to come out. There's going to be an interesting first, probably cinematic. The world's going to open up. You're going to fight animals, craft to make stuff. You're going to collect. You're going to look at the map. There's going to be like the same repetitive missions, and the whole map from top to bottom is going to be collectibles.
You think so? You think they're going to go the same route, dude?
They've done it with almost every Ubisoft game since 4. Give or take Siege and For Honor and stuff like that.
So, I do want to point something out in this picture here, because, and maybe it's already been disclosed, and I just haven't been reading Twitter because I've been busy, but I see a plane in the sky, so it's not going to be the Wild West, huh?
No, man, it's not. It's not. It's. We were kind of theorizing Wild West a few episodes back, and so yeah, I mean, it would have been a perfect time. We'll talk about the Red Dead delay in a couple of minutes, but it would have been a perfect time to have Wild West because there's not going to be one this year. But yeah, I guess it's more like modern day. Montana, Midwest, mountain, cults, I guess.
I've seen
Mormon.
I've seen Darkness, who streams on Beam, or I'm sorry, now Mixer. He said that it's like the Beard Gang. I just wanted to point that out.
Is that for
beards?
It
yeah.
Oh my God! Look at that. Every guy in the picture has a damn beard,
except for the woman. Yeah. Yep. So he's like, it's the Beard Gang. I think it's a neat concept. I think the cult idea is kind of cool. I wonder where they're going to go with it. There's so many different cults out there just from Wikipedia knowledge. So I am surprised that it's just teased as a Christian-based cult for now.
Yeah.
Like it would have been cool like if it went like deep into like this archaic world of cults where maybe it starts out with like Christian cult, but then further down the line you get into like some sadistic leader of the Christian cult who actually is in another cult that's like a dark cult, like satanic or something, and you got to go down all these cults and take them all out. It would have been kind of cool. And maybe I don't know the story yet, so maybe it's there, but I just think that just a Christian cult by itself is kind of like overplayed, and we see a lot of that on documentary channels.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Like, I hope there is like separate areas to the map that are kind of different, like cult themes, if you will. I think you're right that it is highly suggested because this is supposed to be like the Last Supper, if you will, with this picture. It is very much Christian themed, but hopefully, if they're gonna keep it one, I hope that Assassin's 100% wrong and it's not just like a collectible, like retrieve fest kind of.
I hope I'm wrong.
Because with a theme like this, with like this cult background, with such a rich like, I don't know, I would say that a lot of Americans, a lot of people around the world even are very, I don't want to say ignorant, but like not knowledgeable about this kind of thing. So they could really tell a story and have some creative license with this thing and include multiple cults and make this everything you do very story driven. And if they lose out on that opportunity to make all this stuff kind of less about fetch quests and more about story driven missions, then I think they're missing a huge opportunity.
Watch Far Cry 5 be like Wildlands. The guy in the middle is the main boss. And you have to take down all those other people in stupid little territories that make repetitive and bullshit missions with a bunch of collectibles as weapons, and that's the game.
Yeah, Assassin, we actually did discuss that before. Where we said, what if they use the same map from like Wildlands, and somebody even said, what if they use the same map from Far Cry Primal?
Yep.
So I mean, anything is possible.
Man, if they release this thing and it comes out and they do an analysis, like remember when Primal came out and they came out so quickly with the fact that it was the same map rehashed, just different activity. If that happens, man, I think Ubisoft's in trouble because they're getting such a good rap right now for like delaying, or not delaying, but taking a year off of Assassin's Creed and trying to make that better for everyone. And Far Cry, it's been a couple years, so I think Ubisoft's kind of at a high right now. Like, even though Division was shit out the gate, I think people are starting to go back to that. Rainbow Six is great. Wildlands, like you said, boring for you, but I know a lot of people.
I like the
that
story.
love Wildlands, yeah.
I love the story in Wildlands. Like I thought, like Assassin said, some of the repetitive stuff got old after a while, but the story itself, the story though kept me going. Like I thought they did the cinematographics really, really well in that. And in this game, I hope to see like exercise demon quests where like you take your character and you like put your hand on people's heads and exercise demons. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, dude, I think it's possible. I think that's extremely possible. I think that would be awesome because, I mean, that's a big part of this stuff, and a lot of people don't know about it, so they'll be into it because they don't know about it. They'll be learning a lot about it, and I mean, they can take a lot of creative license because it's not like World War I or World War II where if you take creative license, it better be fucking good because a lot of people know the history. A lot of people don't know the history about this. You'll have a few people that know about cults and about stuff that goes on like this, but international people don't know about this. You know what I mean? People aren't educated on it, so. All right, anything else about Far Cry 5? We're going to talk about this a lot more next week because the reveal is actually tomorrow. So 9 a.m. Eastern, by the way.
Too early. Can we just skip ahead like 10 hours?
Hey, you'll just have to catch the replay, bro. You'll just have to catch the replay.
I'm up at like 5, so.
No, never mind. You'll be catching it live then with your Cheerios.
I hate Cheerios.
Is someone in the pic cut off? I see with hands where the girl is. Let me see. I don't think so. This is no. I mean, I didn't cut that off. So that's just how the pic was.
Maybe she has more hands.
Maybe
demons confirmed.
Maybe you're not supposed to see that guy. Maybe that's why it's a little cryptic.
Demons
confirmed. Yes, demons confirmed. Very good. All right, real quick, we're going to shoot through a couple topics because we're kind of running a little behind. Friday the 13th comes out tomorrow, out for early access people already. Multiplayer is the only thing that's available because single player was planned afterwards due to fan feedback and won't be available till summer. So if you want to get the game, I highly suggest you get it now because it can be $40 now, and you'll be able to get the single player, I believe, for free. And if you wait, it's going to be $60. So get it now if you're even into it moderately, or it may be on sale for a little bit cheaper. But I know you guys are way more into this than I am. I'm moderately into it, but I know you guys are kind of more interested than I am. So Assassin,
No.
oh, Clowns, I guess is not. So Assassin's the only one Assassin. Excited about this? You hyped?
I mean, I'm a little excited. I mean, the game's going to be repetitive, like really bad, kind of like Evolve.
Yep.
But I think it would be fun to be Jason and grab consulars and have creative ways to chop off their heads or choke them or stab them in the face. Or
Yes.
it might sound a little weird me saying that, but I'm really interested in the deaths and the kills.
No, I mean, I think that's part of the allure of the game. Like, I think anyone who's excited for this is a little bit sadistic and wants to kill people because that is the allure of the game. I mean, it's Friday the 13th, So, I mean, that's not sick at all. I think you're, I think you're going along with a lot of the people. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people say it's repetitive. People who've played it so far say it's repetitive. I know a lot of people on Twitter I've seen. Mooch comes to mind, good friend of the show. He has said that it looks repetitive. It's gonna, bore you after a couple hours. And you made a good point. Just like kind of like Evolve. Very similar to Evolve. So hopefully it doesn't go that way because I think this game has a lot of potential. It was crowdfunded, right? So, I mean, a lot of people are interested in it. It's not like Evolve where all the critics said it was amazing at E3 and then it comes out and people find out it's dog shit. I don't mean to push my agenda on anyone at all. I just do not like Evolve and I think it's very repetitive and I think the community has proven such. So, back about the last topic, just really quick, Boogie in the YouTube chat says they have cults in Europe. Now, I understand they have cults in Europe, but I don't think the cults are exactly like this. It's like Amish people. Like, I don't think a lot of people in foreign countries like in Europe per se know a lot about Amish people. And I don't think if you're in like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Boogie, because I know you're from California, but I don't think Californians, if there was a game about Amish people, I don't think a lot of people in California or like Washington State know a lot about Amish people. I think people in Pennsylvania do. Surrounding areas in the Northeast probably do, but I don't, what I mean. It's a little different, I think. So I think that's where there's potential to kind of tell their own story. All right, Clowns doesn't like Friday the 13th at all, so we move on.
Well, no. I mean, listen, I liked the movies as a kid. I thought it was kind of cool because Jason never killed kids. He always killed, like adults, and I thought that was great. But as far as the game goes, I'm with Assassin. I think it's going to be repetitive. I said that from day one. I think the graphics look great. I think they did a fluid job on that. But the repetitiveness of this game is definitely not worth a full 60 to me. I would probably pay maybe like 20 at a discount. And you guys can hate me for that, but only based on repetitiveness.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's coming out of the gate at 40, so it may get a discount down to around 20 before the summer when the single player comes out. So, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility, depending on sales, of course.
I mean, it's going to sell it because it's Jason.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since we've seen, like, a decent Jason game.
Yeah. All right, really quick, Red Dead Redemption 2 delayed, the most expected delay in the history of gaming, I believe. Now coming out in spring 2018, so not going to make its fall release. It's going to come out after in Q1 of 2018 fiscal year, so it's probably going to be like April or May. It's not going to be March. So
I liked your image up there, Inferno.
Nothing to see, y'all. I reckon we're finally delayed. Yeah, it's true. I mean, just really quick, guys. I mean, you guys expected this, right?
Yep.
No.
Really, Clowns? You didn't expect this?
Nope. I figure, thinking Rockstar's got a ton of money. They're doing really great with GTA 5, and the game's so old now that they don't need to work so hard on keeping GTA 5 up. They could just devote all their attention to Red Dead Redemption 2, get this thing out there, put their best guys on the team, call in more teams for this, and what do we get? A delay.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rockstar games are, I feel, always delayed. I can't think of a Rockstar game that hasn't been delayed, actually. Like what, table tennis for the Xbox 360? Classic Assassin, right? The table tennis game?
Didn't know that existed.
All right, never mind then. We move on. Red Dead is delayed. Get hyped. It's coming like probably April, I would say, or May.
Probably get delayed again.
Hey, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised, but like Sobsky said really quick in the YouTube chat, the screenshots, though. Did you see those screenshots they put out? Those look sexy. Those look really, really good. But I want to see some actual video gameplay before I judge if that's like really in-game or on a PC or whatever that's on there. I don't think they set the platform, so. Okay, and PS4 has 70 million plus monthly active users on PSN. Actually, it's not PS4. It's just PSN. So they're including PS4, PS4 Pro. I am guessing they're including Vita and PS3. But this picture, which is from a slide that they presented, only says PS4 and PS4 Pro. I find it very hard to believe that it's 70 million just on those two platforms. I would assume that it's all four rather.
It would have to be, because I don't think because I know like my dad, he doesn't subscribe to PlayStation Plus, so there's got to be a lot more people than just him that's not subscribing to PS Plus.
Well, no, it's not PS Plus even. It's just PSN, the 70 mil. PS Plus is 26.4 million.
Oh, yeah.
So,
then
no, but
PSN.
Points made anyway. Points made. I mean, it's a good point. And somebody, Shanzu in the chat said that there's only been, like 60 million or something shipped of PS4s, so there would have to be multiple accounts active per month per console. So it's got to include all. But clever tactic there, PlayStation. It definitely got Xbox people on their heels, because it's only like 53 million on Xbox Live across computer, 360 and Xbox One. So, Clowns, you think this is a big deal?
No. I think that they're only touting this because Xbox started counting their live users. I don't think it's anything to be like, oh my god, so many users. No, it's just to say, haha, we look like we got more than you, so your investors come over here.
Yep. That's right, because they never used to do this, and now all of a sudden they're doing it. So why? But who knows? It's clever how these companies both do it. They both bunch together their monthly active users. They, Xbox does it. They include silver and gold. I don't think they give specific gold numbers. Like PlayStation Network in this slide, they've given 26.4 million as of the end of 2016 for Plus paid subscribers. So that was kind of big on them to do that, because obviously way less than half on PS Plus, but it's not a big deal. Xbox people shouldn't be worried. They have a higher install base. It's as simple as that. And they're including people from Japan, Europe, where PlayStation is dominating and will continue to dominate. So not that big of a deal, but kudos to PlayStation, because that is a big number. 70 million on your network, even though PlayStation Network is a little how do I say this in the foreign language, shite compared to Xbox Live. So but kudos to them. I mean, that's a big number. And Xbox Game Pass, guys, kind of like cryptically announced that it's out now for Live Gold members. So you can get your 14-day trial right now if you're Xbox Live Gold. You can check out the 100+ games that are in the library. And if you're not an Xbox Live Gold member, then you can, on June 1st, check out that 14-day trial before you throw down your $10 a month for this thing. And so I know you guys have looked at the games that are included a little bit more than I have. I saw Mad Max, Halo 5 is in there. A bunch of 360 games are in there, Banjo games. But Saints Row 5 is in there. I think BioShock's in there, BioShock Infinite. Terraria, Payday 2, the Crime Wave edition, the Xbox One version. Lego Batman, a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff's in there, and a lot of people have been on Twitter kind of shitting on the lineup of a launch system, launch program, which is kind of bullshit. But Assassin, what do you think, bud? What do you think of this news, and what do you think of the lineup?
I mean, a lot of the games are kind of meh, and we own a lot of them, but you're definitely getting a great value for $10. There's like, I think I counted like specifically there was 11 games that caught my interest. Obviously, I own them, but even if you just played those 11 games, you're getting your $10 out of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. People are like, oh, there's only 10 games that I like in this thing. Well, you're paying $10 a month, so enjoy your $1 a game. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, all 100 games are not going to cater to every single person. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of the big library. It's not to compete with EA Access either. Like, this is kind of like a complimentary thing. I think it's more geared to new users, you know, people who don't have a library already built up, and they instantly can go from, you know, 0 or single digits to over 100 games for $120 a year. So, and I spoke to Aaron Greenberg back when this was, this was announced way back in the day when they announced this thing. They didn't have any game lineup or anything. It was in preview. And he said that they're considering the possibility of having like prepaid cards, so you can do like a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month kind of thing just to gift people if you want, or if you want to just pay for it up front, buy it in the store, you know, not have to deal with putting your credit card on file or whatever. Just go ahead and do that. So I think it's a good program. Clowns, what do you think, bud? Have you looked into it at all?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Assassin said, we got most of these games, right?
Yeah.
So for hardcore gamers like us, when you first look at it, you're like, oh, okay, well, it's mediocre titles. We don't really need them. However, let me flip that around real quick because I love this program. I think this is great. A long, long time ago, I suggested something like this when we talked about like Steam doing or not Steam, but we talked about what was that? GameFly doing stuff like this. And I suggested, I was like, man, Xbox could do this, and it could make out really well for Xbox. It will, because new users to the platform, people and parents that game share with their kids are going to love this, because there's just so much in there that your kids could play that it's awesome. And the games will rotate in the future. It's not like you're stuck with this lineup for like $10 a month. So you might get like 5 or 6 games out of this lineup that you don't have, right, on the initial launch. So you play them, you get your achievements, you have some fun, you play with your kids, you wait a few months, bam, you're going to get more games in this, and some will rotate out. And you didn't even spend money buying the full title. You just paid $10 a month, which is an epic deal. This is huge for people. And they need to look at it like this and not be like, oh, these games suck, or I don't want to play Lego Batman. But you might not want to play, but your brother, your sister, your kid brother, your children might want to play. Mm-hmm. It's great all the way around. There's nothing wrong with this program. It is excellent. And in fact, this is the smartest move that Xbox has done in the last 2 weeks, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, good, Assassin, go ahead.
What do you think of Clowns? What do you think about the discount you get?
Well, okay. So, that is my sore point on this. And Assassin, I forgot all about that, so thank you for bringing that up. So here comes my anger with a little bit of the program. I think 20% discount if you were to buy a game is insulting. Now, a lot of you are probably like, well, Clowns, you're getting a discount, so why are you upset about it? They don't even have to give you one at all.
Guilty.
And I'd be like, I'd rather have no discount at all, because I'm not going to buy the game with a 20% discount. I think they should have started the discounts at 25%. And I say that because if you take a look at some of these games on here, and then you compare it to like the Amazon Marketplace, or you compare it to Walmart used games, or Target used games, or Target's clearance section, or Walmart's clearance section, you're going to get better deals in brick and mortar stores than you would at a 20% discount. And in the future, who's not to say that Amazon, Walmart, and Target, who are probably hurting in video game sales with digital stuff, and maybe they're not really hurting right now, but in the future they could be hurting. So why not price match every single digital sale? And Xbox is giving you 20% off. What if Amazon turns around and gives you 50% off Lego Batman, and they're already discounted on Amazon or something? And that's a possibility. Xbox needs to look at that. They need to evolve with the marketplace and see that these are older titles. They might not sell at 20% discount. They need to discount them a little bit deeper because they're already making money on Xbox Live Gold and already making money on the Game Pass. So a better discount is not going to hurt overall.
Yeah, Clowns, you make a couple good points here, and one of them is about the rotation of the games. Now, rotating the games has two benefits. One is that games get cycled in, so you're not stuck with the same lineup for a long period of time. But also, it incentivizes gamers to buy the games at the discount when they are there, because they could go away. Like on Netflix, you can't buy the movie at a discount. They take movies out all the time. Whereas this, they take the games out and they're like, by the way, you want to keep it, we'll give you a 20% discount. But there's one thing Clowns is right about here with this 20% discount bullshit. And believe me, I think 20% discount is fair. But there's one thing you are right about that I can't disagree with, in that Microsoft and PlayStation and these online retailers have to compete not only with the Amazon marketplaces of the world and other digital sales that Amazon, companies like Amazon and eBay and stuff like that have been doing lately, that have gotten games, especially older games, down like 50, 75% discounts, but also stuff like Steam, which does this for even newer stuff, like not 2-year-old games, not last-gen games. They do it for current gen. They have sales all the time on Steam. There's rarely a time when they're not doing sales. And so, Clowns, you make a good point. 20% is not competitive with the competitors. It's not competitive with the market. So, in that regard, yeah, I'm with you on that. 20% is not enough. But I still think that, the games are like Sunset Overdrive. I don't know how much that is in the Xbox store right now, but I will look it up as we're talking. But 20% off of that, it's going to come down to a really low price. So, I mean, I think if they did 50%, or like 30%, it would kind of be like, detrimental to them. I think, Assassin, you were making this point, right? They'd probably like lose money on it,
Yep.
Well, see, the thing is, though, I mean, there are times, and I know a lot of people don't pay attention to this because it's very easy to miss unless you routinely follow like Cheap Ass Gamer and all those deal sites. So I'm very avid on Cheap Ass Gamer. Like, I am, to an extent, a Cheap Ass Gamer myself, and I always tell Inferno like these deals I get and how you could flip this stuff, and I'm always making money on the deals when I buy these games. I'm always making money. Like, every time I buy a game for $6, I can turn around and buy a $60 title like the next day. I have a method. So when I think about this 20%, I am insulted. I'm looking at like places like CD Keys that even show cheaper than this 20% discount. It's just, I don't know, man. Something about this 20% really irks me the wrong way, and I think that they can definitely do better. Especially like, I mean, when I went out and bought BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite when they announced the backwards compatibility, I did it like the moment they announced backwards compatibility, and I bought each title maybe for $3 used with free shipping off Amazon.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's cheap. No, I get you. I'm with you on that. It's not competitive with the market. But at what point can they discount it? To what point do you think they can discount it without jeopardizing them profiting on it or making this even worthwhile for them to generate sales? Because Xbox Game Pass, yeah, they're getting $10 a month for the subscription, but part of giving you some percentage off is to generate sales still on some of these older games. They want to incentivize you. Well, you know what I mean?
So, Inferno, to answer that question, that's a very good point. And this is the way I would put it. I think that Microsoft, I know they're trying to be really friendly with the devs right now because they want everything on the console. But they need to also think like Walmart thinks or like Amazon thinks. They need to go to these devs and be like, listen, we've had Lego Batman in our store, I don't know, for like 10 years or so, let's say. And we've already sold the peak number of copies that we're ever going to sell digitally. Mm-hmm. So it's time that we need to make a price adjustment. Now, what we could do is, while it's in Game Pass, here's what we can work out. We can work out maybe a 30% drop in the title, and then when it comes off Game Pass, we can raise it back to like the $19.99. Mm-hmm. And if the dev's like, no, we don't want to do that, we'll just pull it from Game Pass, you'd be like, well, listen, I mean, you can go on Amazon and find this game cheaper, maybe for like $4 from some sellers, or you can go to a flea market and get it for $2, or you can go to Walmart used games online and you can get it for maybe like $5. So we need to come up with a plan if we want to sell this because people are just going to look other places.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, you want to pull your game from Game Pass, you don't want to sell it for that cheap. But on the flip side, like if it's not easily available for you for digital download real quick, that might make people be like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's available on eBay, and then people are going to pay even less for it, and you're going to make even less profit. That's interesting.
And you're not even going to make a profit at all on these used sales because
not.
you already sold. And that was the biggest problem with GameStop and developers is like, oh, well, they're taking our games and selling it for so high. Right. Well, now you don't even need to go to GameStop to buy used games. You can go anywhere else, and the devs are still not getting a profit, and you could buy them for like $5 to $8 a pop, and they're selling it digitally for $20 a pop.
Yep.
So it's better to get money than no money.
That's true. Yeah, it's better to get more than potentially lose out on and have to take less or not even less, none, because people will just buy it used. Yeah, it's a fair point. I think there's arguments either way. I think they had to negotiate 20, and I think a lot of people, maybe a lot of pubs didn't want to even include the game on Games Pass at all, not even get it on Games Pass and then pull it. I don't think they wanted to maybe get it in at all if they were discounted 50% or something like that. But like, let's take Sunset Overdrive for example. That game was a game's the goal, but I was still included in this conversation. That game's normally $30, and right now I think it's game's the goal. It's $9.90, and so with your Games Pass discount, if you want to buy a copy of that game, it comes down to $7.92. So, that still seems like a good discount to me. Like on the face, it without looking everywhere else, because I'm sure I can get it cheaper somewhere else. But if I'm just in the store and I want to make an impulse purchase, clowns, right? I'm going to see that 20%. I'm going to be like, okay, 20% is pretty good. I don't think 20% is going to be low enough for me to say, oh, well, let me price it out other places. I think I'm more likely to make that impulse buy even at 20. You know what I mean?
Well, so you said it's what, like, it comes out to like $720?
$790 something, yeah.
You can buy it on eBay right now for $767.
See, so that's comparable a little bit. It's comparable. The problem is they gotta meet or beat. They can't just like be comparable, at this point. They gotta meet or beat to drive sales for old stuff. So, Assassin, any last words on this before we move on?
No.
Are you gonna get Game Pass?
No.
Yes, we haven't.
You got the trial, so we'll check back with you next week and see what you think of the service. See if you've played more than 11 games. I know Assassin's having some sleeping problems right now, so he may be sleeping like 20 hours during the day. But all right, last topic, really quick. We got our weird news of the week. Of course, we're not going to skip this week. We're going to do this one really quick because we're almost at an hour 30 already. So Clowns was kind of, when we talked about this internally about this topic, Clowns was like, it's about time. He said it's about time. And so the weird news of the week is, I guess a game just came out of preview. Is it out of preview? No, it's on Steam Early Access. It's $1. The game is called Running Through Russia. It's literally a game about drinking vodka and dodging bears. Like, you collect the vodka bottles and you dodge bears. And this is on Steam. It has 4,000 achievements. Not 4,000 gamer score, not 4,000 achievement score. It has 4,000, to be exact, it has 4,096 achievements. And PC Gamer wrote an article about this a couple days ago. They said, we got 49 achievements in 2 minutes. It was just popping achievements. Achievement, bottom right corner. And the achievements have generic names. They don't even have like clever names like the Xbox One or the PlayStation ones or some of the other games on Steam. The achievements have like new _achievement _126 _26. It's like really weird names, like generic. So what the fuck's the deal with this? I know, Clowns, I'll let you go because I know you were like, thank God this finally happened. So tell us what you think.
You want to boost sales of your game? This is what you do. You make a cheap-ass game. It could suck, but you put in 4,096 achievements, and people will buy it that just chase achievements. I mean, it's the honest answer. People are going to speed run the crap out of this. People are going to see how many achievements they can get, compare it with their friends. $1 is not going to hurt a bunch of people from buying this, but I'm telling you, it's going to add up in sales of over 4,000 people. Probably maybe only took like $30 to make this game if they didn't even pay for the license for the Unity software and whatnot. So, I mean, Yeah, this is a smart move, man. Smart move all the way around. They get marketing, they get free press off this. People are just, I mean, literally, people will be buying this thing like it's raining money. That's what's going to happen. And in
For a
fact,
dollar.
I'm going to buy it for $1.
Yep.
And
Me too.
if this comes to consoles, guys like Rand and all those achievement hunters and Ray, they're gonna be like, oh man, what am I gonna do with this
Oh
game?
my god, yeah, this is gonna be the game to have now for achievement hunters. Like, you're right. If this comes to console as 4,000 achievements, I don't know how they would be able to do that because you can only have 1,000 gamer score. But I don't know, they'll figure out a way. But if it has even if it has 1,000 achievements, it will be like the new game that you have to have all the achievements in.
Yep.
Incredible. Assassin, what do you think, bud? You gonna grab it?
I mean, this game has everything. You're right. There's Russia, there's bears, there's vodka, there's a bunch of achievements. I mean, this is $1 worth of good times that we have.
Actually, if Assassin, you'll be interested in this. The trailer says it has super duper ultra mega hardcore gameplay. So
Oh.
that's right up your alley. Yep.
So
Whip out your wallet now. Yep.
Sold.
Yep. Reach for your back pocket. Yep. But yeah, if you guys are interested in this, I mean, check it out. If you buy this, you get all 4,096 achievements. Screenshot it and send it to us. We'll feature it on the show. But yeah, I'm buying it for $1. Fuck it, it's $1. I will definitely be publicizing on Twitter that I got all the achievements on running through Russia. Yeah, apparently you get like, oh my god, streaming it? Yes, I'm buying it. I swear to God, I'm buying it off of the show.
Let's do it, dude. We can co-stream this Inferno.
It. Yeah, so you
We
can
can
get
co-stream it.
It'll be just popping
awesome.
achievements on each one of our co-streams, like bing, bing, bing. Like, oh my god. All right, that's it. Show's over. 1 hour 30. Assassin, thanks for making it go so long.
You're welcome. It's my job.
I know. Hit us up. Thanks for watching the show, everybody who's watching live. If you're watching afterwards, also thanks for watching the show, of course. If you liked it, please hit the like. If you didn't like it, go ahead and hit that dislike. I mean, we're equal opportunity employers here. But yeah, chat was amazing tonight. It looks like my chat is frozen, though, a little bit here. Okay, now it's back. I didn't even see Stick say this stuff. My bad. So yeah, anyways, thank you for coming and checking out the show. We appreciate it. Hit up those affiliates down at the bottom, of course. Definitely subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to start streaming again a lot on Beam, especially, or Mixer, I should say. So look us up on there, 4GwQuarters. Our Twitter, of course, is 4GwQPodcast, so follow us on there, please. That's how you'll get info about the, everything we do, interviews, podcast times, all that kind of stuff. And of course, giveaways that we're going to be doing pretty soon. We're going to give away a bunch of copies of the Bushido, Black and White Bushido by Good Catch Games, and we're going to be giving away the Telltale stuff. So we'll be doing that on Twitter, so check that out. Facebook, facebook.com/4GwQuarters. You can give us a like over there. Hopefully, we'll be taking care of that pretty soon, and we'll be getting somebody who wants to take care of that, right, Assassin, on that job.
And yeah, who's not like falling asleep.
Oh yeah,
24
hours.
Pop-Tarts.
Yes, like you were this morning. Yes.
Yeah.
And check out the website, of course, 4GwQuarters.com, where you'll find back episodes, articles, reviews. And these past episodes as well, you can find on there, archived episodes. So, for everyone here, peace out, Cub Scout.
Bye.
Later.